David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review. It has been almost 3 years since I've reviewed a pen from Conklin, way too long. When the good folks at Atlas Stationers in Chicago reached out to see if I would care to take a look at the retailer exclusive from the brand, then I agreed. So thanks go out to Atlas for providing the pen you will see today for review. Atlas doesn't just have one exclusive model, they have 6. Well, they have 3 now and then 3 coming soon, each of which feature a custom Jonathan Brooks resin. For the 3 available models, each are named for members of the Atlas Stationers family. First of all, there is Cam the Man. This is named for Camden, who is the youngest employee at the store. He is a big Green Bay Packers fan, which I'm sure goes over real well in Chicago. Next, there is Doodle, which is the nickname of Lindsay, who's the sister in the family. This pen has some nice dark purple and gray elements. And finally, the third pen is inspired by their brother Jamie and is called JDog_Smooth, which is his online gaming username. That's rather silly, naming things after online gaming profile names. I don't know why anyone would ever want to do that. And in regard to upcoming models which don't have family-inspired names, there is the Galaxy Prime, Red, and Teal. And I think each of those look pretty sharp in their own right. It's a nice collection. So, in order to see which of the pens I have to share with you today, please join me over here at camera 2. The pen arrives in this box. You can see it says 1898, which is when the company was founded. That would be Conklin, not Atlas Stationers. Inside, we have a standard Conklin box, and inside here, we have the Doodle. Wanted to show you under here, there are a couple of cartridges. There is a use and care guide. And then actually something that I think is helpful is a little guide reminding you that this is a threaded piston pump, which is one of those things when you are using your pen for the first time, typically you just try to like pull on the converter when you're trying to pull it out. And this is helpful to know that it actually unscrews. And here we have the Doodle. I like this resin from Jonathan Brooks. You can see here, it's just a deep purple with some gray elements to it. And some of the gray elements are more prominent. Now, with this resin, you're going to get a variety of looks on every single pen that you receive. But over here, it's more purple, but then over here, it's more gray. Same with the barrel. We have this portion here that's a little more black and gray. And then over here, it's more kind of black and purple. That if you could see close here, there is a bit of kind of shimmer to this material. What Jonathan uses inside here is the material that is used in automotive paint. So when you look at a lot of automotive paint and some cars just have that bit of shimmer to it, that's the same type of pigment that he's putting into his resin. And I think it looks really nice. In regard to the parts and features of this pen, you can see here that the end is rounded. Then we have the standard Conklin clip. I will say the Conklin clip isn't necessarily my favorite in regard to design. It does have the company name there, but it does rock back. That is helpful. So even though it is not that tough in order to get something in there and materials of varying thicknesses, being able to rock it back like there surely opens it up. The barrel angles up until about this point where it straightens out for maybe the last inch or so. And then we have actually a really nice band. I think this is a quality band that has 1898 written on the front. And then this interesting design going around the outside. I just think that that's a quality looking band with an interesting look to it. I'd say that there's a medium rounded step down to the remainder of the barrel. It pretty much immediately starts tapering down, then tapers down slightly greater here near the end, and the end is rounded. The cap twists off with, let's see, there's just about 1.5, 1.25 rotations, and underneath we have this number 6 nib. Conklin nibs typically have that half moon crescent breather hole, and then you can see it says Toledo and USA in there as well. And then here is the plastic feed. This pen is going to be available in extra fine, fine, medium, broad, stub, as well as an Omniflex nib. I'll show you what an Omniflex nib looks like here in a little bit. And then here is the section. It is a bit on the shorter side, but it is slightly convex. And then you have a slight step up to the threads, and then I'd say a medium to large size step up to the remainder of the barrel. When you're holding this pen, I find that does a pretty good job of helping you maintain your grip pretty much in this particular area. If you hold your pen a little bit further back, the threads might get a little bit more in the way, so it pretty much focuses your grip in this specific area. And I don't find that these resin threads are sharp or uncomfortable or anything along those lines. The pen is plenty long enough to use unposted. It does post kind of. I will say it's not that deep when it posts, and this cap is rather heavy, and so I do find it backweights the pen a bit and throws off the balance, so I prefer to use this pen unposted. This is a cartridge converter pen. It accepts standard international cartridges, and a converter is provided. With the metal here in the housing, then eyedropping this pen would not be recommended. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, and then we'll do the writing sample. Here we go with some size comparisons for the Conklin 1898. First off, we have a Durograph Rainbow from Conklin. I thought we'd feature a few other Conklin models. Then we have the Endura Deco Crest, which I thought had a nice resin underneath that the exterior there. And then actually here, this is one of my favorite Conklins, which is the All-American in an ebony wood. I just thought this was a really sharp pen, and then it kind of has the gunmetal section. Even though it's metal, I don't find it too slick, but I thought that was an interesting combination and a nice wood. Then next up, we had the Endura, which had the mother of pearl on there. And then here we have a Mark Twain gunmetal, and this is the crescent filler, where you line this up, and then, well, if I can line it up, then you press down here, and then that's what presses down on the ink sac that's in here, and then when you let it go, the ink is sucked up in there. And then finally, we had the Conklin Durograph, and this was the one that had the Omniflex nib on it. You can see that Omniflex just has a really interesting look and flare. The shoulders on that nib have that really cool flare. Almost looks like a squid there. But this is what it looks like in comparison with the 1898. In regard to uncapped comparisons, this is what it looks like with that Endura Deco Crest, and here it is with that All-American in ebony, and then finally here it is with that Durograph Rainbow. Here we go with the writing sample for the Conklin 1898. And this is the Doodle model. And this is a medium stainless steel nib. And the ink that I'm using is from Robert Oster. And it's another Atlas exclusive, and it is called Izzy Monster. The name of this ink was inspired by the vibrant spirit of Izzy, the granddaughter of Dawn, who is the CEO of Atlas Stationers. You can see here that it is a deep purple with a bit of a pink shimmer to it. This is what it looks like in comparison with Pilot Oroshizuku Murasaki Shikabue, which is fairly similar but without the shimmer. And then here it is with a much more saturated purple, which is the Cross Violet. This is what the Robert Oster bottles look like, and you can see it has that pink shimmer down there at the bottom. Let's go ahead and mix that up a little bit. And now you can see that it's inside there. But it's a nice ink. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. I would say that this nib has a bit of feedback to it, a bit of, we'll call it light drag. That I wouldn't say that it is abundantly smooth, and you're not going to get lots of line variation. If you really press it, you can get some. I'd say the ink flow is on the medium side for this medium nib. In regard to reverse writing, it's not necessarily what this nib does well in regard to some fast writing. See, it's tough sometimes when I do the fast writing right after the reverse because it drains some of the ink from where you normally wouldn't be using it from. But in regard to ink flow, the nib keeps up fine. So the Conklin 1898, the Doodle as well as the other models are available exclusively. Well, not the 1898 model, but these models are exclusively available up on Atlas, the Atlas Stationer website. I'll leave a link to it in the notes below. And the price for these pens is $228. Which I feel is reasonable for this. This is one of the more solid Conklin models. I can't say, like I had said, I'm a huge fan of the clip, but in regard to the Brooks resin, I think it looks amazing. I really like this band that's on here as well. So it's a unique and interesting looking pen made from some quality materials and an interesting theme behind it as well. Okay, until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.